If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, our qualified CPAs, tax negotiators, and support staff know the law and know how to get your situation under control legally and permanently.
Call the number on your screen now and we will contact the IRS on your behalf. Help you end wage garnishment, stop collection calls, remove tax liens, resolve tax penalties, and reduce the amount you owe if you qualify.
Call now and find out how we can help you resolve your IRS problems.
Call the tax resolvers at 800-489-3480.
And this is what people across this country are afraid of. Big government becoming so large and so intrusive that no one can stop it from interfering in our lives.
All right, so to hear the governor tell it, this might be nothing more than a government that gets out of control, and a few bad eggs get out of control, but as big as it gets, you get more bad eggs. To Lizzie McDonald and Rich Benjamin and Gene Marks. Liz, what do you think of that?
You know, Mitt Romney really touched on the central fear that Americans feel. And, you know, listen, I've interviewed Don Alexander, who was Nixon's IRS commissioner, John F. Kennedy's IRS commissioner, Mortimer Kaplan, IRS people who worked under Reagan, under George H.W. Routinely, they have said, you know, the people on the other side of the ideological spectrum will say, oh, just this isn't a problem. This is a fake story. You know, the IRS is targeting people. So what? Not a big deal. Watch out when they're doing it to you, because that is so easy that the IRS can flip on a dime. And we're in a whole new world of government bureaucracies with health reform and financial reform. You need a bigger government tax collector to collect for it. So that's what I think he struck a chord with.
And in the case of you, Rich Benjamin, a well-known, respected liberal, you've become conservative, right?
Not on this issue.
You don't think that does play with this, that these institutions get so big, so unwieldy, that when the president says, I had no idea what's going on, one after another, then maybe there's something to it. It's too big for even you to gather.
With the surveillance state, I have no doubt we would have had the same result had Romney been elected president. I mean, we had those results with George W. Bush. We had them with Obama. So
what I asked Romney was, you know, if this occurred in Boston and you're president, aren't you going to want to do essentially the same thing to track down, you know, and, you know, he just said there's no way of knowing. But you're saying he would.
Absolutely he would. That's what the evidence suggests. Bush did, Obama did, Romney would have no different effect if it was.
So you just conflate all of these together? With
national security, I'm afraid so.
Okay, because I just find Gene Marks one of the things I love the professor to death, but I do think that that's the same liberals who are complaining today about, you know, Republicans going for overreach were the same ones who were saying George Bush was going for overreach with the Patriot Act itself.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Patriot Act was Bush's thing, so that's something that's always been there. And I don't really know about the size of the government per se. I mean, Neil, this will come as a surprise to you as a business person, but I actually have a soft spot for a lot of the people at the IRS. The IRS has 100,000 employees.
Thinks you're trying to stay in good relations.
Listen to this. Listen to this. And I'm not trying to get out of an audit or anything. I want you to know that. But there's a lot of good employees that work at the IRS.
No one denies that. No one denies that. But there are a lot of bad eggs too.
There are, and when you grow in size and you don't have good managers in place that can't supervisors, it's exactly right. So it's not just the size, but it's also the quality and the talent of the people managing those people. Where do they come from? Are they coming from a business background, or are they just political appointees?
The irony is Mr. Axelrod, who's an advisor to President Obama, said the exact same thing. He said, listen, the government is too big. The president can't keep tabs on everything. That's the same, you know, complaint that the Tea Party had been making, but they got criticized and hammered for it by the ideological left. And, you know, I'm right down the middle. I'm a moderate. I go right down the middle. I try to see both sides of the picture. And
so that's your problem.
But yeah, probably, likely. But when I see the dismissal of this as a story, I got to say that to myself, wait a second. When you talk to people who ran the IRS and they say, watch out if you're not on the same team as the president and the IRS is working under a president because they've seen it happen, it is so easy to run a big government and feel powerful with it and use it to your own ends.
Well, you know, we do know this, Richard. Go ahead, finish that thought.
I was just going to say the issue is that who are these people that are running the IRS per se? I mean, again, it's not just size, it's quality of people. And the government is going to continue to grow, Neil. I mean, that's just the economy grows, our population grows. Yeah. It's what kind of people are we putting in place to manage this growth?
It doesn't have to grow exponentially the way it has. And Rich, one of the things I have, if we know part of this growing problem is its sheer girth, then wouldn't you think twice about assigning wider roles and much more intrusive potential roles to the IRS when it comes to health care. That alone would make you go slow, wouldn't it?
Potentially.
Oh,
But
you know it's more than potential.
no, it's potentially.
Look at me.
Look at Clay, it's potentially. You know what I think, Neil? This is the bottom line. I think that people are bleeding their fear of corporate spying into their fear of government spying. And it's this big
Well,
fear of
when
big
they
spying,
walk hand in hand,
regardlessly.
yes.
Exactly, with the NSA. But for me personally, I'm more concerned with my consumer privacy than my citizen privacy with the IRS. I'm
But
concerned.
don't you see how
Google
the two
and
worlds are intertwining?
Google and Gmail, you do a search on any medical disease, then you're being sold drugs for this disease, and then you apply for health insurance, and they assume you have the disease with a pre-existing condition.
I know,
think that
Richard, I hear what you're saying, but the company can't tax you for it. The company can't fine you for it. The company can't, basically
They can
send
raise your
people after
premiums.
you
They
to
can
give you a
raise your
hard time.
premiums.
No, not like the government can. I hear what you're saying. It's a valid point.
So the government size thing worry Lizzie McDonald.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
it has for a long time.
So, Gene, on that level, you're not too worried about it unless it's abused. We've already clearly seen cases where it can be abused. So would you grant more power to the IRS in this case to take over health care? A lot of the funding matters for health care.
Well, Neil, it's an interesting decision, but look, when you look at healthcare reform, it's got to be audited and managed by somebody. Not that I agree with the Affordable Care
You're
Act.
afraid of the IRS. Something happened to you, Gene. What happened? Talk to me.
It's not
Gene,
the
what
case. I'm
happened?
not afraid. I'm not afraid.
Gene, look at me.
I want you to know
Something
that I
happened.
do think that there are quality people
think
that
you're
are at
hurting,
the
Gene.
IRS, and if we.
Gene, you're hurting.
Neil, you're beating me down. You're beating me
Okay,
down.
all right.
I
Just
do
fess
think
up.
that the IRS can manage the healthcare, the Affordable Care Act, if the right people are in place to
The
do it.
IRS can't be a regulator. The IRS doesn't want to be a regulator. They're a
All right,
tax
we don't know.
collector.
It's
That's
a
the
mess. It's a mess. And I think Romney got this much right. It's just now a big, big mess. We'll see you Monday.
I'm only in my 60s. I've got a nice long life ahead, big plans. So when I found out Medicare doesn't pay all my medical expenses, I looked at my options. Then I got a Medicare supplement insurance plan.
If you're eligible for Medicare, you may know it only covers about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. Call now and find out about an AARP Medicare supplement insurance plan insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare supplement plans, it helps pick up some of what Medicare doesn't pay and could save you thousands in out-of-pocket costs.
To me, relationships matter. I've been with my doctor for 12 years. Now I know I'll be able to stick with them.
With these types of plans, you'll be able to visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients. Plus, there are no networks, and you never need a referral to see a specialist. So don't wait. Call now and request this free decision guide to help you better understand Medicare and which AARP Medicare supplement plan might be best for you. There's a wide range to choose from.
We love to travel, and there's so much more to see. So we found a plan that can travel with us anywhere in the country.
Join the millions of people who have already enrolled in the only Medicare supplement insurance plans endorsed by AARP, an organization serving the needs of people 50 and over for generations. Remember, all Medicare supplement insurance plans help cover what Medicare doesn't pay and could save you thousands a year in out-of-pocket costs. Call now to request your free decision guide and learn more about the kinds of plans that will be here for you now and down the road.
I have a lifetime of experience, so I know how important that is.
Wouldn't you like to earn miles faster so you could get to your next vacation faster? Well, now you can with the Citi Platinum Select Advantage Card. Become a card member and you can earn 40,000 American Airlines Advantage bonus miles after you spend $3,000. 40,000 American Airlines Advantage miles, so start packing. In fact, your first checked bag is free for you and up to 4 companions. And there's no limit to the miles you can earn. We'll even pick up your annual fee for the first year. Call 800-783-0665 today. As a card member, you'll also enjoy Group 1 boarding. And with the Citi Advantage Card, you'll earn 10% of your redeemed miles back.